Alright everyone, I'm not normal because I start doing Halloween stuff like in the middle of August. Like we're a couple of weeks out from when the leaves barely start to turn color a little bit. Then I start feeling spooky. That's not normal. That's because I'm like gothy and shit. But AOC has decided to join me. Thank you AOC for being an early Halloween practitioner, because she's coming out now and convincing people this spooky tale that everyone's a hibernating Nazi. Yeah, a couple days ago she came out and she insinuated that white supremacy was like dormant inside everyone, just sort of waiting to get out. Like we're all ticking time bombs. They've got the zombie virus inside of them, and some impetus comes along, some change in the weather, some magical incantation, and all of a sudden there are a million brown shirts marching around. And then she comes out with a tweet saying, well, white supremacists are the ones shooting at us. That's why we need to disarm them. You do realize that the government can't unilaterally disarm people for their political views, correct? If it could, we wouldn't allow commies to own weapons. Maybe there's something to be said for such a maneuver, but the Second Amendment is fairly straightforward. You can't take guns away from someone just because they have violent political ideologies. They're extremist, or no, it's not the way that it works. The government can't convert a right into a privilege. You'd understand this if you understood civics. I'm wondering how these people get into office. Like, it's not that she's not academically trained. She went to, what was it? She went to Boston University. She's got like a master's degree or something. She's not an unintelligent person. How is it that civics is not taught anymore in these fucking schools? Start mandating civics in high school. Preferably 4 fucking semesters of it or something. Apparently, we desperately need that as a society because people don't even understand what rights they have. It's really, really sad. So her tale is this. Her tale is basically inside every person is a Nazi waiting to get out. I'm thinking to myself, why is it that all of these people on the left, they take themselves seriously when they say this too? You're like, well, this ideology is dumb and shitty and stuff, but at the same time, everybody is a Nazi basically. So now it's not like Trump is Hitler. It's not like people who have an R after their name, they're like kind of Nazis. No, now everyone is a secret Nazi. Just a Nazi in waiting. They're not Nazis yet, but, under the right conditions, they all put on, I guess, the swastika tattoo or something. It doesn't make any sense to live your life in such abject fear that you think that everyone around you is a racial supremacist in waiting. But what are you talking about? So you're saying that everyone is potentially influenced by that ideology? Well, then that ideology must be pretty strong and all-encompassing if every fucking person in the world, including non-white individuals, can become white supremacists. And AOC is saying this is a Hispanic individual. Now, of course, she's a white Hispanic. She is white. But it's still surreal to hear her say. It's like, so are you admitting that you have, like, I don't know, Nazi tendencies that are waiting to get out? Like, is it true? Maybe AOC, in the dark of night, she goes into her computer room and she plays the Nazi anthem and sheds a single tear or something. She's like, well, there's a part of me that finds it beautiful. Is this some sort of weird projecting by AOC and people on the far left onto everyone else, like everyone else has secret tendencies? Because I keep hearing this, it's like, you hear what they say about homosexuals. It's like, homophobes are just closeted homosexuals. They're just projecting, which is a psychological effect. Maybe you're the same way about Nazis. I mean, they were socialists, after a fashion, National Socialism. The NSDAP disappeared as a political movement, but apparently it's still around. It's inside all of us. There's a little Goebbels inside of us all, I suppose, according to AOC. This makes perfect sense to these people. It's kind of scary to think that people with such weird fanatic views can actually be elected to office because of the demographics of their particular location. She's representing an extremely far left district in New York City, not necessarily representative of the kind of politics we have here. But so when she walks through the streets of her native, like Queens or Yonkers or whatever, do you look around and say, well, that person over there is a Nazi and this person's a Nazi in waiting and that person's kind of Nazi adjacent? This sounds like some weird logical stretching here, because it's like I get called hate adjacent or extremist adjacent or something because I had a debate with Spencer 3 years ago. So fucking I'm used to this, and the Wall Street Journal hit piece and stuff doesn't help. It's like, this is a person who supposedly wants to be taken seriously, and her big contributions to the world are worrying about everyone being a Nazi and saying that cow farts are killing us all. That's basically what she's known for. It's going to be funny because when we talk 50 years from now, with younger people about the 2010s and how weird it was, we're going to have to bring up Cortez, definitely. She'll be definitely on one of those flashcards of what used to be 50 years ago. Wow, it's real swell, Grandpa, learning about the weird shit that happened when you were a kid. You know, but they thought that video games caused shootings? Haha. They said we should ban transatlantic flight? Hee hee hee. It's going to be pretty funny. And AOC, she'll have to be drawn as a court jester on any flashcard about the 2010s that she's on. Hopefully she loses her relevance before 2020, or she'll be in the next edition too. And then I'll have to live an extra 10 years to entertain my grandkids. Say, oh, let me tell you about 2020 and the time AOC ran for the presidency and lost, and she fucking threw a bitch fit and went crazy. And it's probably what she'll do too. It's going to be funny because she's obviously angling for national politics. If you look at what she's doing, yeah, she's angling in that direction. She's acting like a national politician anyway. She represents a district, but she pretends she represents the Democratic Party. And she kind of does, after a fashion. The far leftists, they don't have a leader in Pelosi. Pelosi is now considered center-left by Democratic Party standards. Now, there's no civil war going on. There's an internal conflict, a paradigm shift struggle within the Democrats, though. I want to see a cage match between pasty and anemic-looking fucking AOC and old woman Nancy Pelosi. I want to see them tumbling around fighting to the death. Be really, really funny. Give them, of course, that means give them pillows, because at this point, if if she were to hit Pelosi in the face with a pillow, she'd probably break her ribs. So it'd be really, really funny. That's about all. Peace out.